Merged Sentry versus Rune King Thor. Who would win? When two beings who exist at the highest levels of power collide, the battle is no longer about strength alone. It becomes a clash between overwhelming energy and ultimate wisdom. On one side stands Merged Sentry, the complete union of Robert Reynolds and the Void, a being who combines creation and destruction within a single existence. On the other side stands Rune King Thor, the evolved form of the god of thunder, a warrior who gained ancient rune magic, the Odin force, and knowledge beyond the limits of ordinary gods. This is a battle between an unstoppable cosmic force and a god who transcended his own destiny. To understand who would win, we first need to understand what makes these two versions legendary. Sentry was never just another superhero. Robert Reynolds became one of Marvel's most powerful beings after gaining the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. However, his greatest weakness was always connected to his greatest strength. Inside him existed the Void, a dark counterpart representing destruction and chaos. For years, Sentry struggled against this darkness. But when Sentry and the Void finally merged, the conflict between these two forces disappeared. Instead of fighting against himself, Robert Reynolds became a complete being with access to both sides of his power. Merged Sentry is far beyond the normal version of Sentry. He possesses incredible strength, allowing him to challenge some of Marvel's strongest heroes. His durability is extraordinary, and his ability to manipulate his own molecules makes him extremely difficult to defeat. Even after suffering devastating damage, he can reconstruct himself and continue fighting. But his greatest advantage is not only his physical power. Merged Sentry can manipulate matter, control energy, and use the destructive abilities of the Void. He can attack opponents with overwhelming force while also using abilities that affect the battlefield itself. His combination of Sentry's power and Void's darkness makes him one of the most unpredictable beings in Marvel. However, standing against him is a version of Thor who reached a level far beyond the ordinary god of thunder. Rune King Thor was created when Thor sacrificed himself to gain the knowledge of the ancient runes. Through this transformation, he unlocked a deeper understanding of existence and gained power beyond traditional Asgardian limits. Unlike normal Thor, who relies mainly on strength, lightning, and Mjolnir, Rune King Thor combines the Odin force with powerful rune magic. This gives him abilities that go beyond physical combat. Rune King Thor possesses incredible magical power, cosmic awareness, energy manipulation, and the wisdom needed to understand forces beyond normal perception. His greatest weapon is not just his strength. It is his ability to see the bigger picture of any battle. A warrior who depends only on brute force would struggle against Rune King Thor because Thor does not simply react to attacks. He studies his opponent and finds ways to overcome impossible challenges. Now imagine these two titans meeting on the battlefield. The universe becomes silent as reality begins to shake. On one side stands Merged Sentry, surrounded by golden energy mixed with the darkness of the Void. His presence represents both creation and destruction. On the other side stands Rune King Thor, surrounded by glowing ancient runes as lightning fills the sky. This is not the power of a normal god. This is the power of a king who has surpassed his own limits. Sentry attacks first. The Void's energy erupts as he launches powerful waves of destruction toward Thor. Each attack carries enough force to overwhelm almost any opponent. The battlefield begins collapsing under the pressure of Sentry's power. But Rune King Thor does not move. Using Rune Magic, Thor protects himself from the attack and absorbs the impact. Instead of being overwhelmed, he studies Sentry's abilities and prepares his counterattack. Thor unleashes the power of the Odin force. A massive wave of divine energy strikes Sentry and forces him backward. For the first time, Merged Sentry faces an opponent who cannot simply be defeated through raw power. Sentry responds by increasing his strength. The battlefield changes as he begins manipulating matter around him. His injuries disappear as his molecular control repairs his body. The Void's energy spreads across the battlefield, attempting to consume everything around Thor, but Rune King Thor adapts. Instead of trying to overpower Sentry physically, Thor uses his knowledge of magic and existence itself. He understands that Sentry's greatest advantage is also connected to his greatest challenge. The balance between Robert Reynolds and the Void creates incredible power, but it also creates a unique connection that can be targeted. Thor begins using Rune Magic on a deeper level. He is no longer attacking only Sentry's body. He is challenging the foundation of the power that makes Sentry so dangerous. But Sentry refuses to fall. The power of 1,000,000 exploding suns erupts around him. His strength reaches incredible levels, and every attack becomes more destructive. His regeneration allows him to recover from damage that would end almost any other battle. For a moment, Merged Sentry appears unstoppable. His raw power, regeneration, and connection to the Void make him one of the most dangerous opponents Rune King Thor has ever faced. But Rune King Thor was never just another warrior. The turning point comes when Thor stops trying to match Sentry's power directly. Instead, he uses the knowledge gained from the runes to understand the deeper nature of his opponent. This is the difference between them. Merged Sentry has overwhelming power. He can survive incredible damage and unleash devastating attacks. Rune King Thor has something different. He has understanding, magical control, and the ability to fight on a level beyond simple physical strength. This battle would not be decided by who punches harder. Both fighters possess enough power to challenge beings far beyond normal heroes. The real question is whether unstoppable energy can overcome ultimate knowledge. Merged Sentry represents raw cosmic power, destruction, and survival. Rune King Thor represents wisdom, evolution, and control. At their peak, both are among the strongest versions of their characters. Merged Sentry has the advantage in regeneration and destructive potential. However, Rune King Thor possesses the abilities needed to counter those advantages through rune magic and cosmic understanding. In a pure physical battle, Merged Sentry could overwhelm Thor with his incredible strength. But as the battle continues, Rune King Thor gains the advantage because he can adapt, analyze, and attack beyond the physical level. So who is stronger? Merged Sentry has one of the most terrifying combinations of power, durability, and regeneration in Marvel history. But who would win? The answer goes to Rune King Thor. After an extremely difficult cosmic battle, Rune King Thor defeats Merged Sentry by using his superior knowledge, rune magic, and god-level abilities to overcome the combined power of Sentry and the Void. The final result: Rune King Thor wins. He is the more complete and powerful warrior because his wisdom and reality-altering abilities give him the edge over Merged Sentry in the ultimate battle of power versus knowledge.